Good evening, students. Now we will come to explain chapter 13 of Wuthering Heights. Now, in chapter 13, we have the most important thing is the letter of Isabella, in which it takes up the whole chapter. Now, at the beginning of the chapter, we have Edgar. Edgar, he looked after Kathy because Kathy was dangerously ill, and Edgar looked after her all the time, to which Nellie Dean describes it saying, "No mother could have nursed an only child more devotedly than Edgar tended her. Day and night he was there watching, patiently enduring all the bad temper, the annoyances of her, and how she was agitated and vexed and all of that. He handled everything. So he looked after her because she was dangerously ill. In her fever, she often said strange, terrible things. And as we said earlier in chapter 12, this whole dilemma of not distinguishing of what is real, what isn't. Now, the joy in the house is like set to for a little bit to happen, as Nellie Dean says that Catherine is expecting a baby. So which means that there were two lives they wanted to save. Kathy and the baby. Edgar wanted a son who would inherit all his land and the property. Now, at the beginning of the chapter, Nellie Dean describes it by saying that they have heard nothing from Isabella for 2 months. Then a short letter arrived. The letter was polite, and it told them that Isabella Lenton had married Heathcliff. But at the end of it, there was another message. Isabella wrote that she hoped her brother would forgive her. Remember what he said in chapter 12, at the end of chapter 12, that he does not want her anymore, and because she disowned him, and it wasn't Edgar or him who disowned her. Now, Isabella wrote that she hoped for her brother would forgive her. She also wrote that she was sorry she had married Heathcliff, as we said, but however, Edgar did not write back to his sister. Now, again, the struggle with Edgar and Kathy continues. Edgar looked after Kathy all winter. He even brought her flowers, which are called crocuses. Now, these flowers, they're kind of flowers that grow after the storm in a valley. Now, when Edgar brings them to Catherine, notice what Catherine says. They remind me of the soft thaw winds and warm sunshine and nearly melted snow. Edgar, is there not a south wind, and is not the snow almost gone? Now, this association here with the crocuses, it gives us the pleasant weather that Catherine felt at their childhood home in Wuthering Heights. It is this youthful gladness of when they were innocent, or when they were children and they were free. Now, Kathy, said Edgar, last spring I was waiting to bring you to my house as a wife, and now I wish that you were out of the moors where the sweet-smelling wind is blowing. Then you would soon be well again. To which she tells him, I will be out on the moors. This time you will leave me there forever. Why? Because again, as we said, with the idea that she feels that the Thrushcross Grange is not her home anymore, and she wants to go back to Wuthering Heights. Notice what she says, I shall never be there but once more, and then you will leave me, and I shall remain there forever. Next spring you will long again to have me under this roof, and you will look back and think you were happy today. You see, she tells him basically this is like, she feels that she is dying. That is why she is saying this. Next spring, you will long again to have me under this roof. And look back and you will think that you are happy. And it could gives us two interpretations here. Is that she wants to go to Wuthering Heights, to leave the place, as we said in previous chapter. And the other is that maybe she is going to die, and that is why she tells him, you will see and look around the house and you won't find me there, and you would think and look back at how happy you are right now. Now, with Isabella here writes the letter again to at about that time. Isabella sent Nellie a letter, to which Nellie said that she still has it. Now, Isabella starts her letter by describing the treatment that she got in Wuthering Heights. Notice here, in this letter, we are taken to, two kinds of questions that from the very beginning she asks Nellie Dean. She tells her what makes people good and what makes people like, how can a human like Edgar, like Heathcliff, be so cruel, be so bad? And she tells her the first question is that how were you able to endure such a severe, cold, violent place? How were you able to handle, to be sympathetic, to be like sympathetic to such people that lived in Wuthering Heights? She tells her, I cannot recognize any sentiment with which those around share with me. As if what? There is no connection between her and the people around her in Wuthering Heights, Hareton, Hindley, and Joseph. The second question, which she tells her I have a great interest in, it is this: is Mr. Heathcliff a man? If so, is he mad? And if not, is he a devil? She tells her, I shan't. I shall not tell my reasons for making this inquiry, because notice she even stated in her letter that she did not want anyone to know of the mis or ill treatment that she received at Wuthering Heights. Now, dear Nellie, last night we came back to Wuthering Heights, and she tells her that she heard about Kathy's illness. She cannot write to Kathy, and Edgar does not want her to write to him, so she tells her, I am writing to you. She tells her again, as we said, is Heathcliff a man or a devil, Nellie? If he is a man, is he mad? Is he like this because this is some sort of, days when you are mad and then you will get better within time? Is this sort of thing? No. That is what she says. She said, I believed that he was a fine man. He told her that he did not understand what kind of man he was. He even stated this to her, but she said, I did not believe him. He hanged my dog to show me how cruel he was. And again, do you remember when we said about the dog? And then she tells her, I did not say anything. But now she knows what kind of man he is. And then she asks the question, why did I marry him? Why? Because this is a terrible place. The difference notice the difference. Isabella is taken from Thrushcross Grange to Wuthering Heights, where she does not want to reside there from the very beginning. She was deceived. However, Catherine, taken from Wuthering Heights, she wants to go back to the Grange, and she wants to go back to Wuthering Heights. Now she tells her, I am treated like a servant. Joseph and Hareton hated her, and she thinks also Hindley is mad, and she showed her a gun and a knife which he carried all the time with him. Why? Because he wanted to kill Heathcliff. He told her to lock our bedroom door every night. Why? Because if the door is not locked, he will come in and murder Heathcliff. Now, when we look at Isabella here, Isabella grew up not in the environment of Wuthering Heights, but in the gentle environment of Thrushcross Grange, which is very much significant because it provides to us a contrast and sets up a new situation for you, for us, the readers,